Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, to Scream Fortress 2017. What you are about to see might not be suitable for all ages, so watch at your own risk. Now, put on your hats and enjoy the show. Halloween, that beautiful time of year where you get kicked off your neighbor's doorstep for being too old to trick-or-treat. When that happens, I fall into the comforting arms of video games. I thought that the Halloween event wouldn't come this year due to the fact that the Jungle Inferno update just so happens to be right next to this one. And we can't talk about the Halloween update without the Jungle Inferno, so this is going to be a two-part review. Which is good for me because it means a slightly longer video. Starting off with Jungle Inferno, we're going to be talking about the new items you can get for free by completing contracts. The first one you'll probably get, because it's a weapon, is the Dragon's Fury. Unlike the regular flamethrowers that just push fire, no, those aren't good enough. This one actually shoots fire projectiles, so you can set fire to your enemies from a distance. No longer will be there WM1 pyros. Now there will be W spam click M1 pyros, arguably more deadly in my experience. The weapon, I can't even seem to hit anything, but it seems like other people's don't have the problem. I try to lead them, but I end up just failing. It's fun to use, I bet, if you're good at it, but I am not. The next weapon, or item, you'll get your hands on, is the Gas Passer. Now sadly, this does not give the pyro the ability to fire flames out of his butt. That's safe for the next item. It does, however, coat the enemies with a green-looking substance that makes them highly flammable. Yes, so now even you can set other pyros on fire. The description of this item describes it as a horrific, visible gas. Probably just gasoline, but that's not as fun. Thanks to the power of
imagination,
you can make it anything that you can think of. Personally, I think of a jar of old Girardi that's been sitting in the back of the fridge for too long, and it's made so chemically potent that it can help set people on fire. The next item is the Thermal Thruster, which, personal experience, I spent hours and hours completing all the contracts in a row just trying to get this thing. Basically, it gives the pyro the use of the magical power of rockets to send him flying across the map. He has the same liquid and the gas passer. Anyways, having this equipped gives the pyro a new taunt that allows him to use the power of his butt and the jetpack combined to murder his enemies with flame farts. It's like magic, only a lot more smelly. The last item, or weapon, that you can get, that I didn't waste my time grabbing because I didn't want it, is the Hot Hand. Now sadly, I never really found a use for this, and I can't show you it because, for some reason that I can't figure out, it's not in the item test area at all. So instead, in this video clip, I will be beating a fellow pirate to death with a handshake. And now, the event you have all been waiting for, unless you were just here for the crappy Jungle Inferno review. I just wanted to get the Halloween update as quick as possible, so I just named all the weapons that you could possibly get. Or I felt like getting, basically. So if you're just here for that, you could leave now. If not, well then you didn't even see this, and it was kind of pointless explaining it. Believe it or not, it's actually kind of hard to talk about the Halloween update. Reason being is the only map that people pick is, for some reason, Man Manor, as every time I go to select a game, it just automatically goes to that. It's a good map. I'm not gonna lie, it's a pretty good map, but it doesn't even have magic on it. Or if it does, I just can't find it, so. Speaking of magic, it's actually my favorite aspect of this entire update. They lay around the map and look like books or crystal balls. You can't cast magic unless you have the Spellbook magazine or the fancy spellbook. You can get the Spellbook magazine by logging anytime while Scream Fortress update is available. And you get the fancy spellbook by completing the achievement Hat Outta Hell. All you have to do is get the loot from Skull Island in Hell. When you do this, you get the fancy spellbook, right? Well, no, you're wrong. You get the unfilled fancy spellbook. You get the fancy spellbook by putting in 3 spellbook pages, and then boom, bam, shabam, fancy spellbook. After that, you can use magic and have power at your fingertips. There are multiple achievement items you can also get with the fancy spellbook. They are, and I'm going to list them all off really quickly. I'm not going to tell you how to get them. That'll be in the description below, if I'm not too lazy. The Necrosmasher, the mildly disturbing Halloween mask, the Horseless Headless Horseman's Head, Monoclus, Skull Island Topper, Abominomicon, Haunted Scrap, Spellbook Pages, and the Halloween Gift Cauldron are all the items you can get from achievements. Most of these are cosmetic and all of them aren't mandatory to have, but it's nice to add them to your collection, you scrub. My favorite map in this entire update is the Carnival of Carnage, just because how weird it is. The reasons being are there's a few minigames and curses that can take effect. These curses include underwater, and according to the wiki, that is 100% always reliable, you are actually swimming in a gigantic pool of Girardi. Brings a different meaning to Don't Think the Water. The next curse that is available is the Big Head. Everyone's head is filled with helium and you can float around like some twisted human balloon. And the last curse is no guns, where you can go and bludgeon the other team while you are shrunk down and really fast. However, according to the wiki, which again is 100% reliable, the shrinking spell added to it is apparently rare, but I had it happen more times than basically anything else, so it's not rare to me. All the minigames that are available are bumper card themed. The first one that I experienced was the Duck Collector. You go around a racetrack and collect duckies, and occasionally
bonus ducks!
You have to do this until 200 is collected. Next is Bumper Car Soccer. This one seems to last the longest, depending on how good your team is, and if you don't suck at the bumper cars yourself. The name is kind of self-explanatory, it's Bumper Car Soccer. Depending on how long it takes, Marasmus will announce that he's bored and yell at the leading team to hurry up and finish. The last minigames is falling platforms, and it's a minigame. I've never really had it last more than 12 seconds. Supposedly, the Horseless Headless Horseman will appear, but I've never actually seen it happen. During the main portion of the game, where you're killing each other and bumper carts, you can pick up spells depending on which map has them. I'm going to start with the spells you can pick up when you're killing each other, and here they are. That you have Fireballs, Teleporters, Blast Jumps, Uber Heals, Balls of Bats, Pumpkin, MIRV, and Stealth. The spells I just listed are common spells, and they can be picked up from green spellbooks and crystal balls. The rarer spells that can be picked up from purple and pink glowing spellbooks and crystal balls are Summon the Monoclus, Summon Skeletons, Ball of Lightning, Meteor Strikes, and Minify. FYI, Minify is my favorite spell to use in the game because it shrinks you down to really small, and you can run around really quickly shooting at people, and it's really hard for them to hit you. It's a good spell. Recommend it 10 out of 10. The last of the spells you can pick up are during the bumper carts, and it makes them 1,000 times more fun. You get the Abominomicon Head, Boxing Rockets, the BASC Jump, and Uber Heal. Overall, I quite enjoyed my time during this Halloween update, and I hope you do too. Now, my children, go grab your hats and enjoy your Halloween this year, whether you're still young enough to trick-or-treat or get kicked off the doorstep like me.
Nice work, Scary Hat!